haven't seen or spoken to our son, Cory, and his wife, Katrina, in over a year. It's all because of Katrina. She is a narcissist, and she has sucked our son into her vortex. I never thought there would be a day where my son would refuse to be part of my life.
Katrina doesn't want to let him out of her sight. She wants him all to herself.
Katrina is manipulative, very self-absorbed, vindictive, and she has somehow convinced Cory that we are the bad guys. I'm so concerned for my son and for my granddaughters. I don't know how much mental harm she's causing by cutting them off from the people who love them.
When Katrina found that she couldn't manipulate us, she cut us out of his life as best she could.
Give people hope and love. We no longer want fear and hate.
Recently, I did learn Katrina claims to be a witch.
Please send the healing that needs to be done with harm to none.
As a Christian woman, I do have an issue with witchcraft. It may be possible that she uses the witch thing and points it at my Christianity.
I think Katrina might be using the witch stuff to keep Cory in her control. I miss Cory a lot. Katrina has sucked the happy personality right out of him.
Katrina does bring a lot of drama to our family. I'm afraid Katrina's mental state might be beyond help.
She sent you gay pride t-shirts and literature.
Yes, she did.
Because she knows that you have a problem with that.
Because she knows we're a Christian and that in the Bible it says it's a sin.
There's two sides to this. She says you send Bibles to her children. You sent them to her children twice.
Mm-hmm.
And she's saying, look, that's for us to decide.
Well, you know, when they were talking to us, she always said that she would let her children make the decision, however that was, you know, whether they wanted to be a Christian or whatever. And that's fine. So we have gotten Bibles for all of our grandchildren at one time or another, and that they weren't the only ones that got a Bible that year. And they sent them back. And I did send them back, and I wrote a note and I said, you know, you always said you were gonna let your kids make that decision. So this is just making it accessible to them.
And she says you made it clear that you hate that she and Cory are not Christian.
I have not made it clear that I hate that. I mean, obviously I want them to be Christians, but you don't force that on people.
She said last November you threatened her with a gun.
What?
We don't, no,
Last November,
Yeah.
I got a gun for my birthday.
Did you celebrate by threatening her with it?
No, I did not. I actually, Mark and Cory had just had a conversation, and so we went and Mark says, why don't you go in and show Cory your gun? So I said, okay. So I went and got it out of the closet, and I had it out, and I was showing Cory, and we were talking about it. That was the extent.
She says that you hate that one of her children is gay.
I have never had a conversation about the child at all.
Well, that wasn't the question.
And I love her.
Do you hate that she's gay?
I don't know that she's gay.
I feel like my mom does not accept my wife, Katrina, because I'm finally happy, and my mom is threatened by that.
You are not the issue with my mother. She has her own issues, and she needs to figure them out.
It is a validation I've needed for a long time.
Katrina and I are a package deal, and my mom needs to get that through her head.
The last time we spoke in person, Tammy showed me a gun that she had received and the target that she'd shot up the day before. I felt threatened by her, and so me and my kids just left.
Katrina is not at all keeping me from the rest of my family like my mom says. They want nothing to do with my wife, so I'm choosing her over them.
I just remind her that I love her. She doesn't need to worry about what my mom thinks because she's not married to my mom.
My child is a non-binary, trans, and gay. Tammy does have a problem with that. She absolutely hates gay people.
I have no doubt in my mind that my mother hates Katrina being a witch.
By my will, with this harm to none, by earth powers, this spell is done.
My mother believes that if you're not in church reading the Bible and a good Christian, you're gonna go straight to hell.
I became a witch when I was 12 years old. I went to a ceremony in the woods and danced around a fire, and I felt a total connection to the earth.
And I'm glad that you've finally embraced the witchy side of you and
It's
nothing.
peaceful. It's love.
Nothing to be scared of.
Last month, I did sort of hear from my mom again. She sent a 12-page letter that brought up all these old memories from my childhood. She was trying to appeal to my emotions, and it didn't work. Not once in the letter did she apologize for the way that she had treated Katrina.
I wish that I could get through to Tammy that I have pure love in my heart and good intentions, but I don't know that she will ever see that.
Do you see them as the enemy to the extent that you believe that they want your marriage to break up?
Yes. I believe that they would love for him to leave me.
Do you think that?
I do feel that way.
Is that true?
At times, it was true. Because in my opinion, I was afraid the only way that things were going to happen, that Cory was going to survive not survive, get out of this, was that he was either going to die or he was going to go to jail, because that's the kinds of things that kept coming up.
And you say that you have a cauldron that you use to release negative feelings?
Yes,
But
I do.
It doesn't work.
You know, she talks
I've
about
never
this.
done for her because she would have to want it from me and she would have to be willing, because I am a healer and I don't believe in doing any harm to anyone. And I would never do any harm to her. And I want her to understand what it is that I do.
She continues to say that I look down on her and I never liked her. But when she first came into the family, I did everything I could to make her feel welcome. I was there. I welcomed the girls as my own. Well, they asked us to stand up for them at their wedding. We, when the baby.
Well, that was then, this is now. And now, is she accurate in saying that you do judge her and think that she's bad news in your son's life?
You know, Dr. Phil, I think that she has shared this, that she has some mental issues. And I think they're serious mental issues. And I think that they are affecting her family.
Okay, so you think she's mentally ill?
I think she has some things going on.
And you said you think she's exploiting her daughter's sexuality just to get attention?
I do. First of all, we've never had a conversation about this, and she's already assuming that I hate all of this to do with her daughter, which is not true.
It's my son now, actually.
And so, and she has always chosen to attack Christianity. The book and the T-shirt, where did that come from? I mean,
How is that an attack? I sent you a book that says Jesus loves gays.
it was the idea that I felt like she was, it was pointed.
And how was an attack whenever I sent you a T-shirt that was a flower and it was rainbow and it said, "Be careful who you hate. It could be someone you love."
Jesus loves everyone.
Really? Then why
Yes.
aren't you treating it like that?
I do.
Then
And
why
I
are you
love
saying
Cory
that those
and
are
I
hateful?
love you.
Then why are those hateful?
Because they
What's
were
hateful?
hateful.
Did you read them?
Read them all.
You sent her a Mother's Day card.
I sent her a Mother's Day. Was that the Mother's Day gift or?
Here's the card to Tammy.
Oh,
We're all
yes.
doing well. Hope you are too. We wanted you to know we're still existed even though you treat us like we don't.
Yes.
We aren't in the wrong. You are. You're judgmental and harsh. Wish we could have been a family. Such a disappointment. Happy Mother's Day anyway. Thanks for getting knocked up with Cory by accident. That seems a little inflammatory.
It was. It was more of anger at that time, and I didn't know how to place it. I didn't know how to say the words that I needed to say. I feel like they have just not wanted anything to do with us. They've never really been a part of my kids' lives that much.
I will tell you, when she first came into my life, it was, you will get to know my daughters. You will bond with my daughters, just like you bonded with the rest of your grandkids.
No.
It wasn't an asking.
That's a complete lie.
It was.
And trust me, I'm not going to demand a person like you to be a grandmother.
You
to my
demanded in
oldest
the
two.
very beginning.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
That is a complete lie.
What would you like the relationship to be now?
I would like it to be happy. I would like my son back in the family and his girls.
Girls and son,
Whatever.
his kids,
All of
their
his
children.
kids.
My mom is super Christian and conservative. She's also one of the most judgmental people I know.
As a Christian woman, I do have an issue with witchcraft, but I do absolutely feel that Katrina has the right to believe in whatever she wants.
Tammy thinks that I have brainwashed Cory to not believe in Christianity and Jesus and to believe in the progressiveness of Black Lives Matter movement and the LGBTQ community.
Katrina sent me a gay pride t-shirt and some literature because I feel that it's a sin. I feel that that is her judging me in my religion, and that's not fair.
You're using the word brainwashed. I have absolutely no doubt, 100%, that she has had a profound influence on Cory. I've been married for 45 years. We've been together for 50. I promise you she has had a profound effect on me. And I hope I've had a profound effect on her. That's what husbands and wives do. And you may not like what she brings to the relationship, but if you truly are a Christian, then you know it's not your job to judge, but you've sure appointed yourself.
Yep.
We have 2 sons. One of them's about your age. I would bite the end of my tongue off if necessary to maintain a relationship with those 2 boys. Fortunately, I don't have to, and they're both married, and we just won the daughter-in-law lottery, and our grandkids are just delightful. I can't imagine getting in a situation where we weren't able to see them every day and have them crawl up in our laps and all of that. I don't want you to not have that in your lives. And you 2 need to recognize that you have tremendous leverage and be good stewards of it. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that, Robin?
Yes, I completely agree with that. We are blessed to have 2 daughter-in-laws that show us great respect. My Mother's Day cards from them both thanked me for bringing their husbands into this world. So I am very blessed to be respected by them every day. So yes, I think that daughter-in-laws should respect their mother-in-laws just by the simple fact that they brought their husbands into the world. So I cannot imagine not having a relationship with our boys every day. So I'm sorry that you're both going through this.
And the power of extended family in children's lives cannot be overstated. They learn that their parents love them, and then they learn that there are other people that love them, and you set up boundaries. And right now, if you're at different places with regard to religious values and stuff, then that just gets set over here right now. And instead, you talk about fun stuff. You go to the mall and go to the food court and have lunch. You meet them where they are. And, you know, I've always had a soft place in my heart for people that love my children. You've got someone that's being kind to your son, and you should be glad of that. I mean, this could be a lot worse, and you should have the grace to appreciate what is working here. You're proud of what he does, right?
I am proud of what he does.
Very proud of him.
Then you should talk about those things. And if that's the only thing you can talk about right now, then that's what you should talk about. If you can expand it to something else, but find a common ground to build on and put your judgments aside. It isn't your job. He knows how you feel. She knows how you feel. You know how she feels. What you have to do is put your judgments aside and find that power in forgiveness.
They claim their daughter-in-law is,
and I quote, a witch.
but is sorcery the source
She said you threatened her with a gun.
What?
of the problem?
You
that you'd be a
have
part of
been
my-
on me since the beginning.
No, I
and you
haven't.
have
Okay,
New Dr. Phil. Check your local listings.
do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.